I don't remember much more than when I was 5 years old, and that's when the traumatic experience happened in my life with the incest, and you know, I was 5 years old. It was pretty devastating. It destroyed me inside, and I didn't know that as a 5-year-old because I was a boy. I was innocent. You know, I didn't know what happened until, you know, I was older and started to realize that was not right, and, you know, and it wasn't my fault. But because of it, I grew up, and it was dysfunctional. When I was in my young teens, and I had that where I didn't fit in, and I found the drugs and alcohol, and then I felt comfortable in my skin. And before that, I was just uncomfortable, and I couldn't fit in. And when I found the drugs, I was home. You know, I found what I needed to fix Dennis, and it worked. And of course, it affected my relationship with my family, and they wanted to take it away from me, and I wouldn't let them, and I fought them because that was what I needed. They didn't understand that. That was my medicine, the alcohol and the drugs, and the beatings didn't work. You know, the threaten to throw me out didn't work. I needed to have that, and I grew up with that, and eventually, you know, I had periods of time that because of the religious experience in the Baptist church, I knew Christ, but yet I couldn't make that connection because of all the other stuff, and God the Father and my Father. So because of that, my journey into the drugs and alcohol, I would get connected with the church, something would happen, I'd get back into drugs and alcohol, and that happened several times, to the point where relationships just were dysfunctional, and all of the alcohol and the drugs that I tried to hide, I couldn't hide them for very long because I needed to have that, and then when I had it, I couldn't stop because of what it did for me. I was drinking 3/4 of a bottle of whiskey a day, and 7 days a week, and I'd get a day off in between where I was alcohol sick, and I just was sick, and it was usually a weekend, you know, where I didn't have any responsibility with work. You know, they talk about a functioning alcoholic, and the fact that you're really not functioning, you're just getting by and surviving, and that's what I was doing, and because of that amount of alcohol, I reached a place in my life where I had this emptiness inside of me, and I knew that the only way I could fill it was with God, but I kept on fighting it, and I got to the place where I lived to drink, and I drank to live, and I didn't want to live, and I didn't want to die, and I didn't know what to do, and I was at the end of my road, and the alcohol no longer worked, and I had to do something, and I had an acquaintance at work that was affiliated with Alcoholics Anonymous, and he pulled me in and showed me the way, and of course I didn't get it right away, but then I got it, and over the course of the last 10 years, I've been able to connect with others, and you know, walk through the steps and look at myself and see what it looked like, and what my part in all of my childhood to my adult was, and be able to connect with it, and look at who God created, and not how I was domesticated, and you know, I was created in God's image, and I wasn't all that stuff that I was raised to believe that I was garbage and no good, and so with that journey, I came to the place where I had a spiritual program and a spiritual life, and I was connected with God for a while, and then I hit that place where I was working on the unresolved issues in my life that were affecting my current relationships in sobriety, and it was stuff that if I didn't work on it, it was going to continue, and I'd keep repeating the same patterns, and God was always there. He hadn't never left, but it took reaching another bottom in my life in Alcoholics Anonymous where I knew that I couldn't fight anymore, and I had to surrender my life to Christ, and here it is in 2013, and I'm surrendering my life to Christ, and I'm not going to fight anymore, and I'm not afraid to take a stand for Jesus Christ in my life today, because I was created in God's image, and God doesn't create garbage, and there is hope. I'll start to experience some of that goodness inside of me, where I'll continue to keep coming back.